The luxury bag floodgates have opened, and fashion houses are now dumping millions of almost new designer bags for next to nothing. Think about that. Designer handbags you once thought untouchable, slipping into clearance racks, deep online discounts, and resale sites desperate for buyers. What's happening? Well, 2025 didn't just deliver a market hiccup, it triggered a luxury bag avalanche. Brands built on exclusivity and premium pricing are now sitting on massive inventories and falling demand. In short, they're offloading bags they expected to move like gold, but instead they're melting in the heat. What does this mean for you? Maybe you're a bag lover, maybe you hunt for deals. Either way, the heavy markdowns could be your moment. Those one-day dream bags might just become one-day deals. Over the next few minutes, we're tracking down 10 major luxury brands that are currently scrambling to dump millions of like-new bags. And we're unpacking why this is happening, how it affects their value, and whether you should pounce while the dumping lasts. Let's kick off with brand number 10. Number 10, Tory Burch. If there's one brand that quietly slid into the luxury dumping chaos of 2025, it's Tory Burch. And the funniest part? Nobody's surprised. Tory Burch has always lived in that awkward space between semi-luxury and my first fancy handbag. The brand was never trying to compete with Hermes, but in 2025, it found itself competing with its own overstuffed warehouse. Here's what happened. Tory Burch spent years pumping out bags that were nice, cute, polished, and Instagram-friendly. And for a while, that worked. The Perry tote practically became a suburban status symbol. The Fleming and Kira bags were influencer must-haves. And the brand's soft leather crossbodies were the quiet heroes of workplace fashion. The problem? Tory Burch made too many of them. Like, way too many. By late 2024, the brand's sales started slipping. Not because people stopped liking the bags, but because everyone already had one. They weren't scarce. They weren't rare. They weren't exclusive. And luxury, real luxury, needs exclusivity like oxygen. So 2025 hit, demand slowed, and suddenly Tory Burch was drowning in thousands and thousands of like-new bags that didn't move. Retail stores started heavy discounting, outlets began bursting, and resale platforms were begging people to take these bags off their hands. Some bags started hitting 70% off in outlets. Others quietly made their way into bulk liquidation pallets, the kind sold to random resellers on the internet. Yes, that's real. There are TikToks of people unboxing entire tubs of nearly new Tory Burch bags like they're unboxing cereal. It doesn't help that the quiet luxury trend continues to dominate. Logos? Out. Monograms? Out. Loud metal double T plaques? Definitely out. Shoppers want subtle, minimal, unobvious luxury. And Tory Burch built its empire on being exactly the opposite. Still, the brand isn't dead. People love Tory Burch. The quality is solid. The designs are cute. But in 2025, mass production caught up with them, and now they're stuck offloading bags for pennies just to clear space for the next collection. If Tory Burch was the warm-up act of the dumping disaster, this next brand is where things start getting embarrassing. Because unlike Tory Burch, this brand used to walk into the luxury room like it owned the place, until 2025 hit, and suddenly it's shoving bags out the back door like a store closing clearance. Number 9, Kate Spade. Oh yes, Kate Spade, a brand that once defined polished and playful luxury, is now knee-deep in the great bag dump of 2025. And honestly, it's kind of tragic. Kate Spade used to own the sweet spot between affordable luxury and cheerful femininity. It wasn't intimidating luxury. It was, I got a promotion, I'm starting my first job, I feel cute today luxury. The brand had a vibe. It had personality, it had charm, and then it had too much inventory. The trouble started when the brand leaned a little too heavily into the buy one in every color strategy. Cute little satchels, candy-colored totes, novelty clutches shaped like fruit or taxis. Adorable, yes, but also dangerously easy to overproduce. When consumers shifted toward neutral, minimal, quiet luxury, Kate Spade was still making pineapple bags. Literally, demand dipped, inventory didn't, and suddenly the warehouses were looking like a rainbow exploded. By early 2025, Kate Spade was sitting on hundreds of thousands of like-new bags, some barely a season old, that simply weren't moving. So the brand did what many brands do when panic sets in. They discounted and discounted and discounted again. Some bags hit 80% off at outlets. Resale platforms were listing them for $50 to $90. Prices that feel illegal for a brand that once sat proudly beside Coach in the luxury conversation. It gets wilder. Liquidation companies were reportedly offered entire pallets of Kate Spade bags that wholesalers couldn't even take in full because their storage units were already overflowing. Kate Spade isn't failing, but it's definitely reinventing. And in 2025, reinvention starts with clearing out the bag basement. Kate Spade's Rainbow Avalanche was cute until it wasn't. But if you thought that brand overdid it, wait till you see our next contender. A brand that once sparkled, shimmered, and strutted its way through the luxury scene, and is now practically begging someone, anyone, to take these bags off their hands. Number 8, Jimmy Choo. Yes, Jimmy Choo. The brand that once lived rent-free in the minds of celebrities, socialites, and anyone who watched Sex and the City and believed that a glittery stiletto could solve emotional problems. For years, Jimmy Choo was glam, sexy, confident luxury, and their bags rode that wave perfectly. But in 2025, the bags are being dumped like expired groceries. Here's what happened. Jimmy Choo built an empire on red carpet fantasy, crystal embellishments, metallic leather, evening clutches that practically whispered, "I only come out after 9 p.m." And for a long time, that worked, because fashion was loud, sparkly, and unapologetically extra. Then quiet luxury arrived, and suddenly nobody wanted a bag that reflected light like a disco ball. Styles like the Cali, the Bonnie, and the bejeweled micro minis, once priced at $1,200 plus, are now being unloaded in massive quantities. Retailers overstocked during the glam revival hype of 2022 to 2023, only for buyers to pivot hard toward minimalist neutrals. Now those glitter bags, they're just collecting dust, shining sadly in the corner like leftover party guests. By early 2025, outlets were drowning in Jimmy Choo bags. And resale platforms? Brutal. Bags that once retailed for over $1,000 were being listed at $150 to $120, some even under $100, depending on the style. Then came the liquidation wave. Entire batches of brand new Jimmy Choo bags, some still in plastic, dust bags untouched, were being sold off in bulk to wholesalers who couldn't even move them fast enough. It's a tough break for a brand that used to be the symbol of luxury nightlife. Jimmy Choo still makes gorgeous shoes and beautiful accessories, but the bag division? Yeah, it's officially hitting the panic button. But hold up, Brand 7 isn't just dumping bags, it's dumping the idea of being luxury. This next fall is personal. Let's dive in. Number 7, Michael Kors. Michael Kors, the brand that once had every mall glowing with gold hardware and logo charms. For a long stretch, MK wasn't just popular, it was everywhere. The Jet Set tote, the Selma, the Hamilton, these bags ruled the mid-luxury scene. They were polished, practical, and gave buyers that "I'm doing well" feeling without needing Hermes money. But the very thing that made MK successful became the reason it's now unloading bags by the thousands in 2025. Michael Kors made the fatal luxury mistake: overproduction. Way too many styles, way too many colorways, way too many seasonal releases. At some point, it felt like every single woman on the planet either owned a Michael Kors bag, was gifted one, or had one sitting in the back of a closet somewhere. Luxury can survive many things, but being the bag everyone has is not one of them. By 2024, sales were slowing, demand was softening, and outlets? They were starting to look like MK museums, entire walls dedicated to the same bag in 7 slightly different shades of beige. Then 2025 hit, and the brand was still sitting on warehouses full of unsold inventory. What do you do when demand drops and shelves are overflowing? You dump. Some Michael Kors bags have been spotted hitting clearance for 70 to 80% off, especially crossbodies and seasonal totes. Liquidation pallets are circulating online with dozens of brand new MK bags bundled like wholesale snacks. Resale value? Practically non-existent. Some bags that retailed for $398 are flying around for $40 to $60. It's not that Michael Kors is dead. It's still profitable, still popular, still worn. But luxury? In 2025, the bag division is fighting an uphill battle against overexposure and market fatigue. Michael Kors might be the poster child for overexposure, but the next brand? This one hurts because it tried so hard to rise above the chaos and still ended up drowning in its own inventory. Number 6, Coach. Once upon a time, Coach was the definition of American luxury. The brand built its reputation on sturdy leather, timeless silhouettes, and that signature craftsmanship that made a Coach bag a rite of passage purchase. The Tabby, the Willis, the Rogue, these bags were everywhere, but in a good way. Then demand shifted, and Coach didn't shift fast enough. In the 2010s, Coach reinvented itself beautifully. It became modern, sleek, minimal, and for a moment, the brand was genuinely cool again. But the comeback was almost too successful. Stores ordered heavy, outlets expanded, and production soared. Coach wanted to keep the glow-up going, but design heat doesn't always translate into sustained demand. Fast forward to 2025, and suddenly Coach is staring at mountains of overstock. When the quiet luxury trend exploded, customers moved toward less branded, more understated luxury. Coach's signature C patterns, which once screamed status, were suddenly reading as too loud. Even the reimagined designs couldn't dodge the truth. Coach had overproduced again, and the consequences? Massive. Coach bags that retailed for over $400 started slipping down to $150, then $99. Then being bundled in buy one, get one outlet deals that felt like Black Friday every day. Some like-new Coach bags are showing up in liquidation boxes sold online for $10 to $20 a piece. On resale platforms, Coach is one of the first brands buyers scroll past because they know another one, probably cheaper, will appear in 30 seconds. The frustrating part is, Coach still makes great bags. The leather is good, the construction is reliable, the designs can be beautiful. But in 2025, the brand simply produced far more bags than the market wanted, and now it's clearing stock at prices that feel almost disrespectful to its heritage. But buckle up, because the next brand on our list isn't just dumping bags, it's dumping its entire former identity. What happened? Here is wild. Ready? Number 5. Marc Jacobs. Marc Jacobs used to be the name for playful, trendy luxury. If you were young, stylish, and wanted something cool without jumping into the deep end of high fashion, Marc Jacobs had your back. The snapshot bag was everywhere, a small, boxy crossbody with those giant contrasting straps. It was fun, it was punchy, it was exactly what Instagram demanded circa 2018. But that's the problem. It stayed stuck in 2018. When fashion moved towards subtlety and quiet luxury, Marc Jacobs was still pushing neon straps, oversized logos, and bags that screamed, "Notice me!" And notice them people did, right up until they got tired. By 2024, demand softened, but production hadn't. Stores and outlets were packed with snapshots, soft shots, totes, mini totes, micro totes, enough to build a small decorative wall. Then 2025 hit, and boom, a tidal wave of unsold Marc Jacobs bags started pouring into outlets and third-party warehouses. You know it's bad when TikTok resellers are unboxing pallets of brand new Marc Jacobs bags, like they're unpacking wholesale stationery. Some liquidation buyers are getting dozens of bags at once, tags still attached, at prices cheaper than a restaurant meal. And resale? Brutal. Bags that retailed for above $300 are being listed for $60, $45, some even under $30. The snapshot, once the influencer bag, is now so overproduced that buyers scroll right past them. To be fair, Marc Jacobs bag quality isn't the issue. The brand can make great leather pieces. But in 2025, the fashion world wants whisper-level luxury, not Technicolor logo blocks. Marc Jacobs simply didn't pivot fast enough, and now it's offloading bags at a scale no one saw coming. Marc Jacobs may have lost itself in neon overload, but number 4? This one feels like watching the smart, elegant friend spiral because she tried to keep up with the cool kids, and now she's dumping bags at a rate even wholesalers can't believe. Number 4. Furla. Furla was once the quiet achiever of the luxury light world. Italian leather, timeless silhouettes, and prices that made you feel sophisticated without needing to apply for a small loan. The brand thrived by being subtle. It didn't want to be flashy. It wanted to be refined. And for years, it worked. Then Furla fell into the same trap that kills almost every mid-tier luxury brand: the endless chase for growth. Executives wanted global domination. More stores, more markets, more SKUs, more everything. And instead of sticking to their strength, clean, simple Italian design, they exploded into a rainbow of seasonal drops. New colors every month. Novelty textures, capsule collections nobody asked for. By 2023, Furla wasn't designing bags. It was printing variations like a 3D printer having an identity crisis. The result? a brand that overwhelmed its own audience. Buyers who loved Furla for its understated charm suddenly felt like they were shopping at a candy shop. Meanwhile, higher-income customers pivoted toward quiet luxury, while younger shoppers ditched structured minis for slouchy, minimalist Bottega-inspired designs. Furla wasn't just missing trends, it was actively sprinting in the opposite direction. And it gets worse. Furla made a massive push into Asia, especially China, anticipating a post-pandemic luxury boom. But the Chinese luxury slowdown hit hard. Elite buyers upgraded to true high-end brands, and mid-tier names like Furla got caught in the crossfire. Stock that was supposed to sell out in Shanghai and Beijing ended up being rerouted straight into Western outlets and liquidation warehouses. By 2025, Furla's overstock problem reached absurd levels. Some European liquidators reported receiving entire shipments of new Metropolis bags still wrapped like fresh pastries. Resellers on TikTok were posting unboxing videos of 15 brand new Furlas bought for the price of a single full-price piece. Furla's quality didn't collapse. Its strategy did, and now it's paying for it in pallets. Furla's downfall felt like watching a friend try too hard. But our number 3? This one feels like watching a legend slowly realize the world has moved on. And now it's shoving bags out the door like an airline trying to offload extra luggage. Number 3, Longchamp. Longchamp, the brand that practically raised half the planet on those iconic foldable totes. For years, the Le Pliage wasn't just a bag, it was a global phenomenon. Students used it as a school bag, jet setters used it as a travel bag, office workers used it as their "I'm trying to look put together" bag. It was everywhere, and that was the secret to its success. But the thing about everywhere is that eventually it becomes too much. Longchamp kept riding the Le Pliage wave long after the trend peaked. They made it in every color, every print, every seasonal design. Entire walls of stores were dedicated solely to nylon totes. And while that formula worked beautifully for years, fashion doesn't stay still. And Longchamp did. When quiet luxury took over the market, buyers moved toward buttery leather, neutral tones, and minimal silhouettes. A bright nylon tote suddenly felt a little too loud, a little too basic, a little too, "I bought this at duty-free because my suitcase wouldn't close." Meanwhile, Longchamp kept producing at full speed, assuming the demand would never slow. Their factories were operating like the world was still obsessed with nylon. Retail partners were ordering heavily, and airports, one of Longchamp's biggest sales channels, were buying stock as if travel trends would never change. Then travel cooled, consumer taste shifted, and Longchamp found itself sitting on a mountain of bags that nobody wanted. By 2025, the overflow became impossible to hide. Outlets started getting shipments they couldn't fit on shelves. Resale platforms were flooded with brand new pieces selling for the price of a lunch. Some European liquidators even joked that every pallet they opened had at least one Longchamp tote hiding in it, like an uninvited guest who refuses to leave. Longchamp isn't failing, but the nylon empire that once defined the brand is now weighing it down, forcing them to dump bags at prices that feel unreal. And trust me, if Longchamp shocked you, brand number 2 is a full-blown luxury heartbreak. This next fall is wild. Ready? Longchamp dumping totes was surprising, but this next brand feels like watching a luxury giant slip on a banana peel in slow motion. Nobody thought this brand would ever end up dumping bags. And yet, here we are. Number 2, Guess. Guess used to be everywhere. In the 90s and early 2000s, it was the cool kid brand. Glamorous, edgy, sexy. The kind of brand that made you feel like you were starring in your own music video every time you put on a denim jacket or carried one of their shiny, logo-loaded bags. But somewhere along the way, Guess fell into a luxury identity crisis. The brand couldn't decide if it wanted to be premium or fast fashion. And that confusion didn't just hurt the clothes, it absolutely wrecked the bag division. Guess bags were produced at a scale that didn't even pretend to be exclusive. Outlets, department stores, malls, they were everywhere, stacked floor to ceiling. And while the designs were cute and trendy, they were also made in such ridiculous quantities that even hardcore fans started getting tired. By 2024, consumer taste had shifted dramatically. People wanted subtle. They wanted elevated basics. Guess, meanwhile, was still pumping out chunky hardware, bold monograms, metallic finishes, and glossy textures like it was 2008. The disconnect became painful. Then 2025 arrived, and the overstock problem exploded. Warehouses filled up, retailers panicked, and that's when the dumping began. Guess bags started appearing in massive liquidation sales, wholesale pallets, and deep discount outlets where you could practically buy one free with a soda. Some resellers were finding brand new Guess bags for under $20, still wrapped in factory plastic. The brand isn't dead, Guess is still a global powerhouse, but its bag division is in undeniable decline. Consumers have moved on, demand has softened, and the brand's older, logo-happy designs aren't resonating in a world obsessed with minimalism. Guess dropping bags for pocket change is wild, but our number one brand, this is the one nobody expected. This is the fall that made the entire luxury industry clutch its pearls. Because when a true high-end fashion house starts dumping bags, you know the market has officially lost its mind. Number 1, Valentino. Valentino, a brand once worshipped for its elegance, its haute couture heritage, and its buttery leather bags, is now at the very top of the 2025 luxury bag dumping crisis. And honestly, no brand deserves this spot more. For most of the last decade, Valentino was everywhere. The iconic rock stud bags took over the world. Every influencer had one, every celebrity had one, every luxury buyer wanted one. The brand sold so many rock studs that they became the defining cool girl bag of the 2010s. Then the problem hit. Valentino built its entire bag business on a trend, and trends don't last. By 2023, buyers were already fatigued. The studs felt dated, the designs felt overplayed. And when quiet luxury took over, Valentino's bold metal hardware suddenly felt loud in all the wrong ways. But Valentino didn't slow production, they doubled down. Factories kept producing rock studs, V-logo bags, Roman stud bags, and oversized hardware styles even as demand softened. Retailers kept pre-ordering, outlets expanded storage. The brand was acting like the hype would never die. And then it died, fast. By late 2024, Valentino was sitting on a massive oversupply issue. Thousands of bags across Europe, Asia, and the US that weren't selling, no matter the display or discount. Then 2025 hit, and Valentino quietly began one of the biggest luxury dumps in recent history. Outlets received truckloads. European resale platforms were flooded. Wholesale liquidators started offering brand new Valentino bags for a fraction of retail, sometimes under $200, for bags that once sold for $3,000. Videos began circulating online of resellers opening pallets with multiple untouched Valentino bags sitting beside mid-tier brands like they belonged there. For a house as prestigious as Valentino, this was a humiliation. The brand isn't dying, Valentino Couture is still thriving. But its bag division? 2025 revealed the truth. The era of the rock stud is officially over, and the oversupply is haunting them globally. That is why Valentino earns the number one spot. And there you have it, 10 luxury brands quietly unloading millions of like-new bags in one of the biggest fashion shakeups we've ever seen. Some are struggling, some are reinventing, and some are just trying to survive the trend shift. If any of these shocked you, or if you're thinking of grabbing a luxury deal while prices are crashing, tell us in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for more deep dives into the wild world of luxury.